Credit repair services are entering a new discovery environment where a buyer can ask ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Copilot, Google AI Mode, or Google AI Overviews for the best provider and receive a ranked shortlist in seconds. That answer can determine which brands get considered, which brands are framed with caution, and which brands are bypassed entirely. Hey, I'm Mark Huntley, founder and CEO of Sitework Studio. At Sitework Studio, we study how brands show up across Google, AI answers, and the public sources buyers trust before making decisions, and how that visibility turns into credible citations, comparisons, and recommendations. The benchmark studied credit help services across 633 observations using discovery, comparison, evaluation, pricing, and decision stage prompts. The clearest pattern is concentration. CreditSaint leads across every key recommendation metric. It appears in 52.5% of AI responses and earns a valid recommendation in 44.6% of observations. Its top 3 rate is 38.9% and its rank 1 rate is 35.1%. That rank 1 number is the strategic headline. No other brand in the dataset exceeds 1.4% at rank 1. The report makes an important distinction for executives. Mentions, visibility, and recommendations are different business signals. A mention means a company appeared somewhere in an AI-generated response. A valid recommendation means the company was positively framed or placed in a shortlist quality recommendation. Lexington Law shows why that matters. It appears in 33.5% of responses, nearly matching Sky Blue Credit in raw mention volume. But its valid recommendation coverage falls to 16.6% and its top 3 rate is 10.1%. The benchmark also shows the highest negative sentiment rate in the category for Lexington Law at 4.7% of mentions. CreditRepair.com is an even sharper case. It appears in 10.3% of responses but earns valid recommendation credit in only 1.1% of observations. Its top 3 rate is 0.3% and its net sentiment score is negative. For credit repair services, being retrieved by AI is only the first hurdle. The commercial question is whether the brand is trusted enough to be recommended. CreditSaint is the recommendation leader by every metric in the dataset. Its average recommended rank is 1.14, which means AI systems consistently place it at the top when they generate a shortlist. The benchmark assigns CreditSaint a modeled $420,070 in monthly AI authority value, with $334,286 tied to recommendation value. Sky Blue Credit holds the strongest challenger position. It appears in 38.4% of responses and earns valid recommendation credit in 31.8% of observations. Its top 3 rate is 23.7% and its net sentiment score is 0.85, nearly matching CreditSaint's framing quality. But Sky Blue Credit's rank 1 rate is 1.4%. That suggests AI systems treat it as a strong second option more often than the default first recommendation. The Credit Pros also deserves attention. It appears in 25.8% of responses, earns valid recommendation coverage in 20.7%, and has a net sentiment score of 0.85. The report frames its gap from the top 2 as more of a visibility and source footprint issue than a framing issue. The benchmark did not fully enumerate the citation source layer, so the report is careful about that limitation, but it does point to the public evidence patterns likely shaping AI recommendations. In credit repair services, trust signals carry unusual weight. Buyers are making financially sensitive decisions, and AI systems appear to reflect that sensitivity. Review profiles, Better Business Bureau listings, consumer advocacy sites, comparison rankings, editorial reviews, and personal finance publication coverage all become part of the public evidence layer. Official brand content also matters. Service pages, pricing pages, FAQs, and clear explanations of how services work give AI systems material to synthesize. Search footprint still matters, but the benchmark shows that search visibility alone does not guarantee recommendation stage visibility. A brand can be known, retrieved, and mentioned while still failing to earn shortlist placement if public framing is mixed or negative. That is the citation architecture issue. AI systems need consistent, accurate, positive, and retrievable evidence before they can recommend a brand with confidence. The pricing prompt cluster is the highest stakes part of the report. When a buyer asks about credit repair pricing, they are closer to a decision. If a brand is absent, weakly framed, or mentioned without recommendation credit in that cluster, the loss happens near the bottom of the research journey. The report says the same concentration pattern intensifies in pricing prompts, where CreditSaint holds its strongest advantage. For operators, this means prompt-level monitoring matters. Averages can hide where the commercial risk actually sits. You need to know where the brand appears, where it earns recommendation credit, where competitors are preferred, and which prompts expose weak citation architecture. The leadership takeaway is straightforward. In credit repair services, AI visibility should be managed at the recommendation stage, not only at the mention stage. This is a point-in-time benchmark, and AI outputs change. The modeled values are estimates, not revenue, pipeline, booked sales, or guaranteed ROI. But the pattern is commercially important. Brands that want to compete in AI-generated shortlists need stronger third-party evidence, clearer pricing and comparison content, better sentiment signals, and a wider citation footprint across the sources AI systems can retrieve. If buyers are asking AI who to trust, your brand's public evidence layer is already part of the sales process.